ladies and gentlemen, because this will leverage us going for the next 10 to 20 years. Come to BSNSU events, you'll get the information. So thank you, Paul. Greatly appreciate it. I'd like to next bring up our featured speaker, and someone who's become a friend of mine through our personal contact, sending text messages. She's a true champion for equity, opportunity, and regional leadership. Someone who's dedicated her career to building systems that empower people and drive transformation across Los Angeles. Supervisor Holly Mitchell represents LA's 2nd District and currently serves, actually she did serve as chair of the LA County Board of Supervisors. She did, and that was an experience, but also lends to her high level of expertise now. She leads with clarity, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to economic justice for all Angelenos. A 3rd-generation Angeleno and a seasoned policymaker, Supervisor Mitchell is uniquely qualified to speak to the challenges and opportunities ahead as Los Angeles prepares for a once-in-a-generation wave of global events and commerce. Her tenure in the California State Senate, including her role as chair of the Senate Budget and Fiscal Review Committee, phew, that was a tough one, I bet, equipped her with a deep understanding of how to align public investments and community needs. She shaped statewide policy on housing, workforce development, small business support, and infrastructure, another tough one, all central to the conversations that we're going to be talking about today. Now at the helm of the largest county government in the nation, well, actually, she's part of the leadership of the largest county government in the nation. Supervisor Mitchell is leading countywide efforts to ensure that the economic benefits of major events like we're getting ready to experience, like the World Cup, Olympics, Super Bowl, and particularly with our historically underserved communities, her focus on equitable recovery, sustainable development, and long-term wealth building makes her a voice of indispensable insight for this room. Please join me in giving a powerful and well-deserved welcome to our featured speaker.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm glad that I got here early enough to see the flash poll and that notion of if we plan for it, right? I couldn't agree with you more. We got to plan for it. It was great also to hear Paul's comments. As I was listening to Paul and looking at the charts about all the cities that are impacted, it made me think about a family reunion. You know, Mayor Bass is the head of the family, but there are a whole bunch of other cities who are vying for that role. You know, my potato salad is better than Big Mama's. Everybody wants to, you know. And so imagine it, these multiple levels of government. It's like a family reunion. And everybody feels, you know, the city of Carson, the mayor of Carson, like, I've got 5 events. You know, the mayor of Inglewood, Mayor Butts is like, it's the Inglewood Olympics. So it's, and then Metro's like, oh, LA 28 is gonna finance it all. LA 28 isn't gonna pay for the electric buses that we need. We have to double the fleet of electric buses that we currently have. So you can imagine, you all have family reunions where it looks all pretty, where you got your t-shirts with your names on it, and then by day 2, you're ready to go home. So we're gonna manage. Thank you, Mayor Bass, for appointing Paul to that position. He can try to help navigate some of the family disputes during this process. And then there's LA 28 that comes in and says, I'm the head of the family, and all of us are looking at LA 28 like, you got to come through us. So it's been an interesting process thus far. I try not to get anxious when I look at that slide with all of those events coming to town. Yes, there are opportunities, but I'm like, it's going to be an interesting experience. So I'm very glad. Thank you, Kevin. It sounds like he and Paul had lovely conversations that got Paul here. Frankly, I got my arm twisted behind my back. Teasing you, Kevin. I'm really glad to be here to really talk to you about opportunities that we all have to plan for, as your flash poll said, to make sure we are actually getting ready. You know, but in order to have a meaningful and realistic conversation about how we do that, I think we really need to start with a clear and honest look at where we are today. Businesses and communities in LA are facing enormous challenges. While we're less than 6 months out from the devastating wildfires that damaged and destroyed thousands of businesses, many more saw revenue drop as Angelenos evacuated or just stayed home. The federal tariffs have increased costs and created uncertainty and confusion for many. And frankly, the ongoing raids and federal immigration enforcement have layered on yet another economic crisis, further upending day-to-day operations for many businesses. Many workers feel they have no option but to stay home in the face of fear that they may be kidnapped on the street or in their place of work. I've heard directly from business owners that they are seeing drops in revenues as Angelenos stay home out of fear, or they're forced to close for fear of enforcement activity. And I know some of you may have been subject to the curfew in downtown LA. And so I'm clear, and I have shared very publicly at board meetings and in the media, that what our region needs to stem the tide of this unfolding economic crisis is for the raids to stop. I'm sure we all would agree that a fair, equitable, affordable pathway to citizenship is what's most important, but the way in which this process has been thrust upon the city of LA at no invitation by our mayor or our governor is problematic for all of us, including business. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge that it is driving business and driving workers into the shadows. So I'm hoping that all of you as businesses, as business leaders, as pillars in our community will use your voice and your platforms to call for an end to the actions that are upending our communities as a result, and as a result are harming workers and your business. In the throes of contending with all of this, 2028 might feel like light years away, but it's not. We will blink and it will be here. And what's unfolding now further underscores the importance of harnessing the historic investments in the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games to create wealth building and revenue generating opportunities for local business and local entrepreneurs. We can't afford to let another mega event come and go without leaving real, tangible benefits behind. This anticipated spending presents an enormous opportunity for our local business and workers, and an equity lens is essential to ensure that these dollars create wealth building and career opportunities that directly benefit all of you in this room. That's why I was proud to join with my colleague, Supervisor Solis, and we authored a motion last year directing LA County to study the economic impact of the 28 Games, particularly for our unincorporated communities that aren't represented on those lists where cities are listed, and to set bold goals for small business inclusion and workforce development. If we don't set a goal, it's easy to miss the target. We want to set aggressive, frankly, goals, because that's when you know what you're measuring, and we'll know whether we got there. We'll know whether we were successful. At the county level, the study is in its final draft form, and while it's not yet public, I want to give you a preview of the vision we are advancing at the county level. Our proposed goals for the games include 75% of total spending with local small businesses, 40% targeted local hire, particularly from our underserved, hardly reached communities. 60% of the contracts awarded by LA 28, including subcontracts awarded to small business, with 50% of those contracts being awarded to diverse or underrepresented small businesses, like those that are women-owned and minority-owned. 25% of official game merchandise designed and manufactured in LA County, with 75% of the licensed retailers being locally owned. I want to see LA 28 partner with leaders in this room in responsible manufacturing, such as the Alliance for Responsible Apparel Manufacturing and Purchasing and the Garment Worker Center. In order to meet any of these goals, businesses have to know how to find games-related contracting and how to apply for them. That's why we're also calling on LA28 to put all contracting opportunities up on Ramp LA, an online marketplace for regional procurement opportunities with a 12-month rolling forecast of future contracts starting January 2026, so our small businesses can prepare. I'm clear that these are ambitious goals and targets, but they're measurable and we believe achievable. But they require a partnership with LA28. And I'm glad to hear from Paul that LA28 plans to release their public benefits goals, because we haven't heard them yet. And I'm clear, having traveled to Paris for the Paralympics, that by this time, Paris had their community benefits identified. So I feel like we're behind the 8 ball. And how can you say it's a priority if you haven't acknowledged your commitment to them yet? So hear us, LA28. We want to hear your community benefits, and we want them to be true stretch goals that meet the unique opportunity and the unique need of LA County. We cannot, and I argue should not, allow a $12 billion investment with $7 billion in vendor contracts to bypass the very communities that keep this region running. So I'm calling again on LA28 to join us in achieving these ambitious goals, and we are inviting partnership because we'll not host an Olympic and Paralympic Games that ignores working people, small business, and our historically overlooked communities. We've seen all of this done before and frankly done well. I had the privilege again of attending the Paralympic Games and saw firsthand the power of local investment to grow the local economy. During the 2024 Paris Games, 90% of suppliers were from France. 78% of contracts were awarded to small and medium-sized business. Additionally, over 90% of licensed merchandisers were small and medium-sized French businesses. And all the athletes' laundry was handled by a local social enterprise operated by workers with disabilities. That didn't happen by accident. That was planned for. It was intentional. They set aggressive goals and targets for themselves, and they met them. Paris didn't just showcase athletic excellence, it also invested in its people. And together, I believe with your partnership, I'm confident that LA could do the same. So, you know, Paul talked about the fan zones, and we saw that 15 billion tickets will be sold. What I also fully appreciated while in Paris is, while people will travel here and they may be here for the full 2 weeks, they don't have tickets for events every day. That's why it's important for all of our cultural assets to be ready. When I think about the county's cultural assets, LACMA, Natural History Museum, Hollywood Bowl, your businesses, fan zones for people to get the opportunity to fully experience the beautiful diversity and complexity of all of LA County. So I'm hoping to stand up our amazing county assets and parks to be fan zones, because people won't have a ticket for every hour of the day to be at an event. They're gonna fully experience the beauty that our region has to offer. That's why all of you in this room and beyond really have to be ready to have the opportunity, not only for the workforce development, but also for the business opportunities, because people will be in every corner of our region and county. And it's important that through the fights of the family reunion, that we all coordinate to make sure that you are prepared. It is my job as an agent of government at the county level to cut through all the bureaucratic red tape I can, and we've been doing that over the last 5 years, to make procurement and contracting easier for all of you. And we are doing that with our Office of Economic Development, a relatively new department in the county, my own team, the Carolyns, Carolyn here and Carolyn Tarosis, who focus on workforce opportunity and making sure we're doing all we can to make sure that procurement with the county doesn't continue to have the barriers it has historically. So we're trying to do our part. I hope that you will step up and help us in creating the opportunity to welcome the world to LA, as Paul said once again. I think it's important that we're clear about where we're starting. We have some work to do today to make sure that you as businesses can prosper and that your workforce feels safe to come to work every day. Thank you very much for the opportunity. It was great to see so many familiar faces in the room.
One question, Holly?
Yes.
We have one
Yes.
question. There we go.
I went for it. Supervisor, so great to see you. This is Claudia Dantale.
Yeah.
Not sure if you remember me, but today I'm here with Now Art and Next Art Foundation, and we do these lavishly public free events, a lot of different art and technology implementations. We do believe that the time to create these opportunities are now, that also create sponsorships. We've been in conversations with Metro. We are certified in every single thing, California United certification, and we understand that with the need for the funds to come in, creating these opportunities for sponsors and matching them with the small businesses is what we do through arts and culture, creating these opportunities for communities to exist. Everything has to be site specific. Communities are not going to gather overnight.
Right.
You have to build that from the get-go.
I agree. And from Metro's perspective, our CEO was talking about we need to start now for World Cup. It's not about just waiting to 2028. At Metro, the focus is what can we stand up now for World Cup, use it as a practice opportunity to then be prepared.
So we were waiting, for that response. Where can we start some pilots within the Metro agencies? And it was taking us a while, so we decided to create our own opportunity. And we're doing 30 different locations across the county, on parks, metro stations. They are related to the festival trail and the mapping of the Olympics. So I'm asking you, can you please cut through the red tape for us to start, these implementations?
Okay, so what red tape? Like Metro's not being responsive? Like what red tape? Because Metro is, again, at our board, I chair operations committee, we had a conversation just last week about looking at fan zones, how we stand up and bring services like we saw in Paris at every train station, how we activate all of our train stations. So we're prioritizing those that are centrally located around venues. So tell me what red tape. Because I'm like, call Wiggins. Today.
We love working with them.
Okay.
So we have been in these conversations about the fan zones. We've done presentations about interactive participation, where you can kick the ball to the screen and it feels like you're playing with it. We've done throughout these conversations. We have a partnership with Show Imaging, Panasonic. We've done all the presentations and we're waiting.
Well, you know what? That's like we waiting for LA 28 too.
Yeah.
So I think the reality is, remember, it's the family reunion, and I think that you have positioned yourself as best you can. At this last board meeting, we talked about how we're going to try to kick some of these things off for World Cup next year, and so I would just stay in close contact with Metro. If you've done the presentations, you're probably in the queue, and
we believe in being hyper local, but
I
also
agree
create
too.
opportunities for partnerships internationally.
I agree too.
So
one thing I learned in Paris and Metro, and the same is going to apply to FIFA, that at the international level, they're going to bring in their sponsors, and we can't, counter. If they bring in Adidas, we can't bring in Nike, et cetera, et cetera. And yet there's opportunity for us to, and responsibility for us to indeed fundraise. LA 28 is not going to pay for the fan zones. We have to bring that to the table. So I think that there are some restrictions in terms of how we pay for it, but keep working with Metro. If you've done the presentations, I don't know that it's red tape. All of us have experienced a whole bunch of hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
We're waiting for LA 28 to talk about what their community benefits model is. So I don't think it's about red tape. I think it's about us just all, getting in place, pushing to make sure that we're ready to launch, and focusing on World Cup, I think, next year as an opportunity to figure out what makes sense for us in terms of location, regional representation, and what we present is gonna be a really great first step.
So we're gonna have to stop here.
Yes,
We gotta
I
move
just
on
want to
to
say
it.
thank you so much.
I appreciate
you.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
if only we had a summit where we'd have Metro showing up to talk about these issues.
So, let's give Holly a hand.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And Holly, at least I was gentle with you. So now, we're gonna move into our first panel discussion. Let's get business ready now. That's the theme of the day, right? A bold look at how our region can help equip small business entrepreneurs, investors for the momentous opportunities ahead. So I'm thrilled to introduce our moderator, Kelly Lobianco, one of my colleagues and steering committee members over the last 3 years at California Jobs First. Kelly brings more than 15 years experience advancing workforce development, entrepreneurship, and economic mobility at the local, state, and national level. Prior to her role in Los Angeles County, she led strategic initiatives at the New York City Department of Small Business Services and was a senior fellow at the Center for Government Excellence at Johns Hopkins, where she worked with cities across the country to design inclusive economic recovery strategies. As a founding director of Los Angeles County DEO, Department of Economic Mobility, or Opportunity rather, she's built the agency from the ground up, developing policies and programs that prioritize people, removing systemic barriers, and delivering resources directly to small businesses and job seekers. Under her leadership, the department has launched multi-million-dollar initiatives to support small business startups, provide technical assistance, and create jobs in growth industries. Kelly is deeply committed to building an inclusive economy that works for every community in LA County, making her uniquely equipped to lead this conversation about how we get business ready now. Please join me in welcoming Kelly to the podium.
Hello, everyone. All right. Good morning. I think we're still in morning. Yes. Thank you, Kevin, the BizFed team. I'm so happy to be here today. As you heard, my name is Kelly Lobianco, and I'm director of the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity. You just got to hear from my boss, Supervisor Mitchell, as she helped us set the stage. I'm very excited to serve as your moderator for the Let's Get Ready Now panel. Without any further ado, I'm going to welcome up my esteemed colleagues. So first of all, I'm going to have Christine Peterson, LA City's Director of International Trade and Investment. Come on up. Thank you, Christine. I'm going to have Libby Williams, LA City's Director of Small Business and Policy. Come on up. And third, Alicia Rivers, Director of BizFed Advocacy Academy. Come on up as well. All right, I'll let them get settled. All right, thank you, everybody. All right, so we just had Kevin, we had LA City's Paul Krikorian, we had LA County Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell. They helped us set the stage. There are billions and billions of dollars in potential from FIFA World Cup, from the Super Bowl, from LA28, from the 9 total events that are coming in the next few years, and beyond for local, small, diverse businesses and workers that need to tap into, that we need to tap into for maximum economic and community impact, and to position ourselves as the sports entertainment capital of the world. I think that's something as an economic development agency we're thinking about a lot. How do we maximize our community benefit? But we're not just here, within our region. We're going to be on the national and global stage, and we are every single day. That means those bold goals that you heard about, we're excited to be coming out and making those commitments, but also getting organized and ready for direct contracting and hiring, community and business activations around venues, festivity zones or fan zones, and mobility hubs, tourism and hospitality throughout the region, and investment in our youth and our workers, our small businesses, our infrastructure, our environment that will have a lasting legacy. While there are opportunities with LA28, and we are working directly with them to make sure we see those commitments and see those benefits, and some of the organizing committees, the county, the cities, countries, and the private sector are all going to be investing far and wide in our region, and we have a short window to get prepared. How do we all get ready and take advantage so that the world sees what we're all about and what we have to offer? Very quickly, before I have my esteemed colleagues introduce themselves, at the Department of Economic Opportunity, we're investing with amazing partners directly in our local diverse and small businesses. Supervisor Mitchell helped launch the Economic Mobility Initiative just 2 years ago, where we're offering education through entrepreneurship academies, training and technical assistance with partners like the LA Area Chamber and their One LA Procurement Accelerator, and capital. We know that folks need capital to make it all happen. Folks can get certified with the county through our department, and we're tripling the number of certified businesses and to make sure that folks know how to procure, to access procurement opportunities, the 6 to 8 billion that we do annually at the county, and also tap into the world of supports that prepare you for public sector contracting and all the investments that are to come. We also do capital development through commercial acquisition, facade and tenant improvement, and focused commercial corridor revitalization. We're also training the workforce of today and tomorrow in key industries that we need for the games, but also for a vibrant sports entertainment ecosystem. You're going to hear a lot today from our colleagues at the city and the county and BizFed on how to take advantage. But there are a lot of free resources and a lot of technical assistance available today and coming, so we hope will stay in touch with us. But let's dig in. I'm going to ask each of our panelists to provide an introduction to themselves and how they connect to this work. We'll just do a quick 1-minute intro and we'll go down the line.
Hello everyone, Alicia Rivers. Great to be here. I am the director of the BizFed Advocacy Academy. This is a program that was founded by the Los Angeles County Business Federation and the BizFed Institute. And really at its core, it's about bridging that information gap and also building a civic muscle. We are working with small business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and making sure that we are demystifying the access to power. We're letting everyone know, and we're shifting mindsets so that they understand that you don't have to allow things to just happen around you. You actually have the right to get in the game and take advantage of these opportunities. And a part of shifting that mindset, we're also making sure that we're not just referring to these as games, special events. These aren't just procurement opportunities. These are billion-dollar economic engines. And it's really important that we're framing the mindset that way so that we can make sure that people are walking into these rooms confidently, because this is where the decisions are being made, contracts are being awarded, and policy is being shaped. Thank you.
I got this one. Okay, is it on? Oh, you're right. There you go.
Good morning. My name is Libby Williams. I am the Director of Small Business and Policy in Mayor Bass's Office of Business and Economic Development. What we do in my office is to focus on how can we get all of these small businesses prepared. And we're looking at this not just at a city level, but on a regional level, because we know that we are the small business capital within the nation. In terms of the number of small businesses within the United States, we have them here. And just as you heard Holly say, there's absolutely no reason why LA28 should have to go outside of LA County borders in order to provide and find all of the small businesses and resources they need to put on a successful games. So what we're focused on is working with all of our partners, working with our business source centers, making sure that they have the information that they need in order to train and help increase the capacity of the small businesses that we have here locally so that they are prepared, just as she said, in order to be successful on bidding and also on implementing on that contract. That's about it for us.
Good morning, everyone.
Libby, may I have your telephone number?
I love that. Can I give it to you? All right, she's gonna give it to you. Can I give it to you afterwards? Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Christine Peterson. I work in the Mayor's Office of International Affairs on the same floor as Libby here. And over the 6.5-ish years that I've been with the office, our focus has been on promoting exports among small businesses, so accessing those international opportunities abroad, and then attracting international investment to the city of LA that is of high quality, that creates jobs locally, and that partners with local business, that creates job opportunities within local businesses as well. Because for every job within a foreign-owned enterprise in LA County, there's 3 supported in locally grown companies. So since I started, we've known that we've had the Olympic and Paralympic Games coming since we were awarded those games back in 2017. And of course, FIFA World Cup we got in 2022. That's really our North Star, because as everyone has said today, it's an unparalleled opportunity. The eyes of the world are going to be on Los Angeles, and we want all of the local gems, whether it's tourism gems. I see Patty McJennett here from LA Tourism, or the great products and services of the LA small business really showcased, and to shine that light on all of you all.